Hey guys, I figured I'd give you a heads up that we may be seeing the 1.5 Classic update this coming maintenance. And the reason we believe this is it seems and feels like we have been following the same Korean model and pattern for Korean Classic when it came out. And with the Korean Classic, when the second season of the David Pass ended, they got 1.5. So a lot of players are feeling like we might be seeing 1.5 layer this week, which would be wonderful. So I figured I'd just go through the patch notes that Korea had and give you guys some tips and tricks on what to look forward to and what you should be doing to prepare for 1.5, since there's only a few days before it may be coming out for North America. First thing first, Aion Classic 1.5 is going to introduce quite a few new dungeons. The first of which is going to be Dark Poeta. For those of you that don't know, Dark Poeta basically is going to be the new in-game instance. The gear in there is equivalent, if not possibly arguably better than even Fenris, the Fenris set, depending on what stats you're going for. If you're going for offensive stats, it is better than Fenris. We will also be getting Fenris in the 1.5 patch as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. But Dark Poeta will be an instance that you go into, and basically is just riddled with Bellar, and it's a timed instance. And the faster you complete the instance while gaining points by killing certain mobs and bosses in there, it depends on the rank you get. And the higher rank you get, the harder the boss is at the end of the instance, with better drop rates and better equipment. It will actually be our very first chance to see Eternal Gear, which will drop off a Talabata from accomplishing S rank. So it is very exciting that we are getting that. It's also exciting because Dark Poeta is an amazing farming spot for players. If you don't want to run it for the gear, you can go in there and just spend 3-4 hours in there just open world farming, and you get a lot of Bellar mats, a lot of Kina drops, a lot of white drops. It's a great place to farm to make some Kina, so we are really excited to finally begin that in Aion Classic in A. So as it says, it is a 6-player instance. You must be level 50 to run it. The cooldown they got for Korea is 24 hours. I'm really hoping we get a shorter cooldown than that, because if not, that's really gonna hurt us a little bit. The first entrance quest can be acquired from Leah in Sanctum or Himdel in Pandemonium. After completing the quest, you can repeat it in order to acquire the Time Activation Stone, which is needed for your first time entering. And then there are 3 entrances to Dark Poeta. One in Huron, one in Belusalon, one in the Eye of Shanta. And these instances have different cost. One of the things we're going to have to do now is you're going to have to farm Bellar in the open world or in Rashanta to get blue Bellar scales. They're an item that looks just like this. It looks like a little shield emblem with some ruins on it. Unfortunately, these aren't in the game yet, so we weren't able to stockpile them before the patch comes out. I wish we would have been able to. They just drop off of any Bellar mob. So if you kill them, you'll see, hopefully, if it's like what Aion used to be when it first came out, they drop quite often. So it's not hard to farm them, it's just a little time consuming. And if you want to use the Belusalon or Huron entrance, you're gonna need 20 of them. The other thing you're going to need is a Rift Essence, which is sold by general store merchants in your capital cities. I don't believe we have them right now, so I can't check on the price. Give me 1 second to double check that though. So I just went in game and I double checked to make sure, and I couldn't find the Rift Essence. So that is also something we can't purchase in the game yet, so that will come with the update. I don't remember how much it cost. I believe it's somewhere around 100k Kina. So each run is going to be a little expensive, but like I said, the mobs in there drop quite a bit of Kina, so you will make your money back for the Rift Essence that it costs to go in. The third and final entrance is in the Eye of Ashanta, which is down by Divine Fortress. And this one is the best one to do to enter it. For the first time entering, you'll have to do this high cost one that takes 20 scales. But after you do it the first time, you can use the Eye of Rashanta, which will only charge you 5 scales and still 1 Rift Essence in order to enter it. So that's something to look forward to as well. And then it goes on to list the rank conditions in order to acquire S rank, A rank, B rank, C rank, F rank. And these ranks affect the last boss that you fight and what they can possibly drop. And what players are going to want to go for is A and S rank. Those drop gold and above items. S rank is the only way you can get the eternal weapons to drop off a Talbata. It is a quite difficult fight though, so you might want to start by just doing some A ranks to gear up and build up your gear before you can do S rank. And watch until the end of the video. I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on getting S rank and what you should be doing right now to prepare for that, so make sure you keep watching. The second thing that we may be getting with 1.5 is Chromies Trial. For those that don't know, Chromies Trial is a single player instance that you can access between levels 37 and up to 44. It does have a once a day cooldown, 22-hour cooldown, which is pretty harsh, but the XP in there is amazing and is one of the best written instances in my opinion. It tells the story of Chromie and how she became a corrupt judge and why she became the corrupt judge because of the shadow executioners and what they did to her. It's kind of a sad story, and it's really a great instance. I'm glad that we are getting this so players can experience this that haven't seen it before. It'll also kind of help players that are stuck in this range that are kind of wondering what are we supposed to do to level. This will be a great way to level. It will also offer some new weapons and gear that you can get to help tie you over until you can get to the higher level instances. And those entrances will be in Huron and Belusalun at these NPCs, Nerita and Parento. And the third instance we are going to get, which I am very excited for as well. I'm excited for all 3 of these. I really am. I love all 3 of these instances. I'm so glad we're going to be getting them. We'll hopefully gain them. The third instance will be Dredgion, which will be a 6v6 PvE PvP instance. This is where a group of 6 Asmodeans goes up against a group of 6 Elios, and it is PvE PvP race to the captain basically. The point is to go in and capture room by room to get points while killing mobs to also get points to unlock the captain at the end of the instance. And killing the captain will also give you a ton of points, and each room has a thing called Circana, which you have to DPS down to get credit and points as well. So this instance is really fun. It takes strategy, it takes working together as a team while PvPing and PvEing. There's a lot of strategy in this instance. It's real fun. The rewards usually are really great. It's great XP for those that have not hit level 50 yet. So if you're 46 and you're struggling to get to 50, queue up for this every day when you can. And on the Korean servers, they did it at noon, 10 o'clock at night, oh no, that would be 8 o'clock at night, and midnight. So 3 times a day it would open, and the cooldown is 2 hours, so you can run it up to 3 times a day. This instance also gives AP and other rewards as well, so it's a great addition to have to the game. And it says you can apply the battlefield using the application icon to the minimap or through the NPC. So there is an NPC in Rashanta you can talk to queue up for it. The other option is in-game, down in the lower right hand corner where your daily quest pops up. There will be a little instance symbol that shows up where you can click on that and you can apply as a group, as a quick entry alone, or you can apply for a new entry as a solo player, which will hopefully fill the group and then put you in the instance. And then there's just a little more information here. Nothing too important there. Direct portal to DC has been added to the Huron area. The portal appears every day at 8 until 1400 and 20 till 2 in the afternoon or morning. It just says this for Huron. It doesn't look like the Asmodeans get a similar thing. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I might have to do some more research to figure out what's going on with this. Why doesn't the Asmo get the same option? Maybe their DC entrance is a lot harder to get to than ours. I'm not sure. Then there's some changes to the Deva Pass. Beginner's Pass has been added for new characters. Only characters level 10 and below can acquire the pass. It will continue to level up and up even after exceeding level 10. So that's a new thing that they're adding in. I'm not sure what the cost is. I don't know what the rewards are. I've looked all over online. I can't seem to find information on it. If you guys have screenshots of it or might know, leave a comment below and I'll look into it and I'll make a video to share with everyone. Seal's Energy, which is Seal's Aura for us in NA. Over in Korea, it's called Seal's Energy. Items above normal grade can no longer be obtained without the Seal's Energy or Aura for us. I believe we already have this, where if your Seal's Aura wears off, you can't obtain better than white items. So that's not much of a change for us. Siege. The HP and Abyss points have been increased for the Guardian General, Doors, Bellar Commanders, and Barrier Generators. The HP is affected by the race ratio. So the more you are losing in the Abyss, the more HP your deity is going to have. It's kind of handicapped they add it in, which is a nice balancing tool. The number of players that receive Siege rewards has been increased. Thank God. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to Siege and I've PvP'd my heart out and I end Siege and I have over 5k AP for contribution and I get no rewards. It's very frustrating. So they're increasing the number of players that get rewards, and that's great. The range of area where players are teleported away from a fortress has been increased. I believe this has to do with when Siege starts. If you are opposing faction and you're, let's say, Asmo's own Mirren and you're in Elios and you're PvPing inside the Mirren fortress, it goes vulnerable. At that instance, it ports you away, as you know, right when it goes vulnerable. And I think they increased how far away it puts you, because right now it doesn't put you very far away. Like within 10 seconds, you can be right back at the front door. So that's kind of a nice change that they're doing, so you can't camp too heavily for pre-siege. Character changes. Now this one, some players are real happy about, other players are really upset about. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these changes. But the Abyss points that are acquired and deducted from PvP in Morheim and Elton have been changed. Abyss points acquired from killing infiltrating characters has been increased. So if you're an Asmo and you go over from Morheim to Elton to kill Elios and they kill you, they're going to get more Abyss points than if you kill them now, is the change. So the invading faction is at a disadvantage and risk losing more. Abyss points acquired from killing other players has been decreased, which means you won't get as much for PvPing in enemy territory. The number of Abyss points deducted from players killed by infiltrating characters has been reduced. So let's say you're in your homeland, you're in Morheim, and Elios comes over and kills you. You won't lose as much Abyss points as you were before this patch, based on your rank and level and everything. So it's kind of a handicap for those that are aggressively rifting, and for those that are just trying to do open world farm and don't want to be bothered. Quest, the level 50 Deva quest has been added. That is the Fenris set, which is a great PvE defense set. For PvE offense, it's not that great in my opinion, but it really varies by class. And we'll be able to start doing that by doing the first quest from these NPCs in the capital buildings. And I have some tips for you for that as well. Make sure you head on to aionnotes.com, go to the link library. I do have a full Fenris quest guide posted on that library. I'll have a link below to the Aion Notes website. Make sure you guys are using that and checking it out. Another tip for that, if you're not already, you really need to be farming and stacking up boiling Bellar bloods. For the pants quest, to craft the pants, you are going to need a ton of boiling Bellar bloods. Some players have realized this since the game came out, so they have been buying them like hotcakes, and the price of them are insanely high right now. So if you haven't already started, you need to start now if you're looking to go for Fenris. Item changes. Confirmed delete will now require being typed in order to destroy. We have this on retail. When you go to destroy item that cannot be restored, it will ask you to type in confirm instead of just drag and drop and clicking OK. Special cookies and jellies will no longer share a cooldown. We never got the special cookies in NA. They were from an event that happened in Korea, so that doesn't really affect us much. The appearance of wings can now be changed, which a lot of players have been waiting for this, so they can skin over wings and have change the skin of the wings, so that's a welcome change as well. Some normal grade armors accessories can no longer be traded through the broker and mail. I'm not sure which armors and accessories these are, but this is going to limit the white items that we use to reskin things and pass them to other players. So it'll be interesting to see which ones they change and why they're doing this. I'm not sure. The player base in NA loves skins and outfits, and reducing the amount of them that can be traded or transferred is never a good idea for NA. So maybe NC West, if you watch my videos, maybe you should listen to the player base and not do this. We want access to more, not less. Monsters. The amount of Kina dropped from monsters in Theobomus and Drusthonen has been lowered. Now, personally, this one I have mixed feelings on. I open world farm Drusthonen all the time. It's how I make my Kina. It's how many of my Legion mates and friends make their Kina too. I believe they're probably doing this because of the bots. I'm not too sure. There are a lot of bots that farm there, but there's a lot of legitimate players as well that farm there. So it's kind of sad seeing they're taking this away, but then at the same time, we are getting Dark Poeta, which is a huge Kina making instance. So it might even out, hopefully. We'll have to wait and see. There's some UI changes here. I'm not going to read these. I'll leave a link below if you guys want to go through and read them. There is also some changes to Seal's energy here. The waiting time for unpaid Seal's energy account has been lowered. The waiting queue position may increase for unpaid Seal's accounts. That just affects connecting to the server. So let's say you don't have Seal's Aura, you go to connect to the server, like for the first 2 days, remember there was a queue to get onto the server. It would just, if you didn't have a paid Seal's Aura account, you would be on the bottom of the list to connect. If you were to queue up and you were number 100 in the queue, and then someone that was a Seal's Aura player went to queue after you, they get bumped in front of you automatically. We don't have to worry about that in NA. Our population is kind of dwindling, and our servers can host a lot of players, so we don't have that issue. I don't think that's going to affect us really. But that's all I really have for these patch notes. Now, like I promised, I'm going to give you guys some tips. As I said before, if you're not farming boiling Bellar bloodstains, you need to be. Those are needed for Fenris, not to mention it is a great Kina maker. So make sure you're farming those right now and hoarding them. Another tip I'm going to give you is for Dark Poeta. If you have admin boons and you are just popping them left and right when you're running DC or Adma or just doing things for the sake of science in game, stop doing that. You want to save your admin boons. When we run Dark Poeta, it will be time based, which means you have to move quickly. If you die in there, your team will not be able to sit there and wait for 3 minutes for your soul sickness to go away before they progress in the instance. You have to keep moving. So you want to stack up your admin boons and make sure you have them for when you run Dark Poeta. The third and final tip I'm going to leave you guys with is make sure you are stacking up and crafting fire scrolls. I know in previous videos I said don't worry about elemental defense, don't stack it, don't worry about finding equipment with it, don't worry about crafting elemental scrolls. They don't play a big factor this early in the game. This is when that changes. If you are going for S rank Dark Poeta, you will be fighting Taobata, and you'll be surrounded by lava, and she summons ads that use heavy hitting fire skills. This is when the game changes and we need fire resistance. So if you want to start making your MR sets now, that might be smart too, just for her. You're going to want, of course, a HP or a block set for clerics just to get to Taobata. But once you're there, you're going to want MR most likely, or a heavy HP set. And make sure you have some fire scrolls, and make sure that your clerics are running Summer Circle to give you extra fire resistance while doing that fight. So those are the tips I have for you guys. Like I said, none of this is official yet. We don't know for sure if we're getting 1.5 this week, but really looks like we're following the Korean pattern, which means we may be getting it this week. I hope this helps you guys out. Make sure you like the video, share it to your friends, leave a comment below if you have any questions or other information you would like to add to this. And as always, I hope to see you guys in game.